The colonial rule in India not only changed the administration of India, not only the judicial system of India, but also their major strength, that is the military. So, let us read about the colonial army at that time, the army of the Britishers. There were two kinds of soldiers, the cavalry and the infantry soldiers. The cavalry soldiers were those who were the savars or on the horseback, and the infantry soldiers were those who were pedal soldiers. They were given a good training in archery and sword fighting. We also see that during the time of the Mughals, they did not pay any attention towards the infantry because they never felt the need of a good infantry. All the soldiers were supplied from the rural backgrounds, that is, mostly they had the pedal soldiers. But later on, when the new states reasserted themselves, when the new kingdoms were made like of Awadh and Banaras, they started having their own type of army, and that is, they had the peasants' army. They took in recruited soldiers from the army, that is, who were peasants, and that is why their army was called as the Sipahi army. And the Britishers also took to the same lines, and therefore the colonial army was called as the Sepoy army, that is the Anglicized version of the word Sipahi. Later on, the need of the cavalry declined for the British army because they were mostly fighting in Burma, Afghanistan and Egypt, where the soldiers were armed with muskets and matchlocks. So, the reforms, measures, changes kept on coming in the colonial army owing to where they were fighting and owing to the changes and the time which were occurring. Later on, the Britishers tried to make their army strong by giving them new style of training, which is the European style of training, in which they had to have a drill and discipline. When the colonial army was organized and made, most of the time the caste and community feelings were ignored. So, this must have not been easy for the soldiers of India at that time to get rid of all the caste ill wills that they had since so many centuries. So, the 1857 revolt, when they had came out in open about the feelings of the caste system which was prevalent amongst the Indian sepoys at that time. But it was a long journey from wherein the people who had come as traders became the colonial administrators of India. The steam engines and the steamships gave a remarkable change in the life of the Indians, by which the Europeans could easily reach India and have a greater hold over the Indians. Though it was a long journey, but still the Britishers had a great impact on the Indian administration, on the Indian army, on the Indian judicial system, and thus slowly from traders they took over as masters of India, bringing about the kind of changes that they wanted. So, that was all about your chapter. Thank you.